सांसें गिन रहा है.
And in the latest, he also confirmed the Republic newsbreak that the BJP will not field candidates or contest polls in Kashmir. This seems to be a new beginning for a new Jammu and Kashmir, one that boasts of development and opportunities.
Launching a scathing attack on the opposition parties in Jammu and Kashmir, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the BJP will wait for the people of Kashmir as they are in no hurry to get the vote share in the Kashmir Valley, but they have urged the people that they should not vote for the three families, that is the People's Democratic Party, National Conference and the Congress Party. Early today morning, Republic Media Network broke this news of the BJP's Kashmir plan, and now Union Home Minister Amit Shah has confirmed that the people of Jammu and Kashmir need not to vote for those three parties, but the BJP will hold vote. He has also asked the Abdullahs, Muftis, that who was the one who exploited the people of Kashmir and handed over weapons to them.
Well, Godavari is India's second largest river, and we know how critical the issue of water is for most states in India. And on the campaign trail, there has been a comment made by BJP's Tamilisai Soundararajan, former governor, now contesting on a BJP ticket from Chennai. She feels the Godavari waters can be diverted to Chennai. That's one of her campaign pitches. She said that today, along with attacking the DMK over its Tamil card, which she says is only to exploit sentiments. Republic spoke to Tamilisai.
Here, when I became the governor, first of all, I read a lot about Godavari water. Godavari water, basically it is flowing into the sea. When it is deviated to Chennai, whole Chennai, even the outskirts, the development areas can have drinking water. So drinking water problem can be solved by bringing Godavari water. And again, before itself, I had a talk with the then Chief Minister, and I contacted the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, then Chief Minister, and I asked two ministers to come over there, and we had initial talks because of my efforts. But because of the political situation, it changed. But now, I can say, with all our efforts, because I was the governor of Telangana, so my contribution, Godavari can be brought to it. This will be a great service to the people. Even in Mailapur, which is the developed area, people are standing lined with pots for water. What is the problem? Even drinking water, even the Jal Jeevan Mission, which is the scheme of the central government. Yesterday I went to some of the outskirts. They told they have tap connection but due to Jal Jeevan Mission, but they are not providing the water because they are having difference of opinion with the state and central government. I won't be like that. Even though other parties ruling Telangana, with all our efforts, Sudhakar Reddy ji, myself, because of our connection with Telangana, we will bring Godavari water because it was initiated by me already.
DMK has rubbished the BJP's manifesto, especially the Tiruvalluvar, the bullet projects. They're saying that in the last 10 years, 66 crores was only spent for Tamil classical languages, whereas 600 crores was spent for Sanskrit. So that is the argument that they're putting. How do you respond to this?
No, how much they spent during Congress period? Congress period also the proportion was that only. Now because of the passing of years, there will be some increase in amount. And I am asking, Honorable Prime Minister is talking about Tamil in UN, Tamil Tirukural, wherever he goes. This manifesto, where he has said, our Honorable Prime Minister has said, we will be a part of Tamil development. I am asking, this is the manifesto for not Tamil Nadu, for whole Bharat. When they are releasing a manifesto for a whole Bharat and they are recognizing Tamil, why didn't you do that? You only told you recommended for Congress manifesto. Why didn't you recommend about Tamil language? So Tamil is only for politics for you. It is not for development. You are not. So only vote bank. You cheat the Tamilians like that. So now they are exposed. I am asking only one question. Why didn't you recommend development of Tamil for the to the Congress? Congress won't do because they only killed the Tamilians at Sri Lanka. How will they do?
And on to some breaking news from Karnataka now, where there has been a controversy over some statements that were made by two ministers, or rather by one minister and against another minister. A former BJP leader taking a swipe at a sitting minister made the comment she should take one peg. And that has become the subject of a controversy. Now, the former leader's name is Sanjay Patil. And along with that, the second controversy coming in from Karnataka, as a sitting minister has been accused of trying to lure voters with some benefits if they vote for the Congress party. Here's a roundup of the election controversy from the state of Karnataka.
With the 2024 Lok Sabha election phase 1 just around the corner, political parties have resorted to a new model of campaigning. With battle lines drawn, leaders in Karnataka seem to be one-upping each other in making controversial statements. Watch how ex-BJP MLA Sanjay Patil hurls derogatory remarks at Karnataka Women and Child Development Minister Lakshmi Hebalkar. Patil charged that the Congress would undergo restless nights looking at the surge of supporters for the BJP in the state. And so Hebalkar must take pills or quote-unquote an extra peg to sleep.
मी 8 क्षेत्रात सगळीकडे फिरलोय. गोका कारवाईला अतिशय मोठ्या प्रमाणात कार्यक्रम झाला. पण एवढ्या मोठ्या प्रमाणात महिला उपस्थित असलेले एकमेव क्षेत्र ते बेळगाव ग्रामीण क्षेत्र. आणि हे का सांगायला लागले, आज रात्री आमची अक्का झोपू नये म्हणून मला असं वाटतंय, म्हणून तिच्यापर्यंत ही बातमी पोहोचावी. अक्काबाई, आज रात्री जरासं गोळी घे आणि मग झोप. कारण रमेश जारकिहोली साहेब बेळगाव ग्रामीण मध्ये आज कार्यक्रमाला हजर राहून तुझं काही खरं नाही म्हणून मेसेज देण्याचा प्रयत्न करायला लागले. त्यामुळे अक्काबाईनं आज रात्री जरासं एक पेग एक्स्ट्राच.
Retorting to the former BJP MLA's sexist comments, Lakshmi Hebalkar said that this shows the kind of respect BJP has for women.
ಸಂಜಯ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಾಗಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಾಗಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಥಾನ ಏನನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮತದಾರರು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಅವಮಾನ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಸ್ತ್ರೀ ಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಅವಮಾನ. ನಾನು ಲಿಂಗಾಯತ ಸಮಾಜದ ಹೆಣ್ಮಗಳು. ಇವತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಲಿಂಗಾಯತ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಒಂದು ಅವಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಈ ಸಂಜಯ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಡೀ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಕುಲ ಚೀತು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ.
BJP leader and a former MLA from the Saffron Party, Sanjay Patil, has landed himself in controversy for making derogatory statements against the Minister for Women and Child Welfare, Lakshmi Hebalkar. And in his mood to go ahead and criticize the guarantees, he's gone ahead and made remarks stating that Lakshmi Hebalkar cannot now sleep peacefully because Ramesh Jarkiholi is campaigning, and therefore, if she wants to go ahead and sleep peacefully, she should be taking sleeping pills or consume alcohol and liquor.
This election season, it is not only about personal remarks, but also blatant violation of the model code of conduct and fake promises. Watch this video where Congress Minister D. Sudhakar appeals to voters with sanctioned grants worth over 25 crore rupees.
70,000 ಲೀಡ್ ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, 25 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಂದ ನಾನು 100ಕ್ಕೆ 100ರಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾಯಕರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ದಳಕ್ಕೂ.
The state BJP unit has slammed Sudhakar for his poll gimmick. Now it remains to be seen whether the recent rise in inflammatory statements are just due to the polls, or is it going to be a continuing trend.
In battleground Karnataka, the stakes are quite high because on one side, the Congress wants to wrest the power from the hands of the BJP, and to add to their woes, the JDS too have gone ahead and formed an alliance. But the political discourse in the state has gone ahead and hit an all-time low now, with the Chief Minister, his son, their cabinet ministers making statements which is unparliamentary, and the political discourse has gone below the belt too, which is now being criticized by leaders from across all the party lines. With video journalist Bhagat Prajwal Prasad reporting for Republic from Kanakpura.
I'm getting in some breaking news now, two-part breaking. In fact, before I go across to the next story, Election Commission, I repeat, Election Commission has banned Congress leader Randeep Surjewala from campaigning for 48 hours over his remarks on Hema Malini. I repeat, Congress leader Randeep Surjewala, very close to Rahul Gandhi, part of his coterie, has been banned from campaigning by the Election Commission. The Election Commission has taken action against him. He's been banned from campaigning for 48 hours over his remarks on Hema Malini. Randeep Surjewala in the news for the last 2-3 weeks for that sexist comment against Hema Malini was banned across the board, and he's now been banned from campaigning for about 48 hours. On a day, by the way, when different parties are facing the heat for making sexist comments, and the Election Commission has acted on Randeep Surjewala. He's been banned from campaigning. Randeep Surjewala had recently made a comment. We'll pull out that comment as well and play that out. Became a big controversy when Randeep Surjewala spoke about Hema Malini, and even Hema Malini spoke about it, became the subject of controversy, and was picked up by different leaders, including the Prime Minister, Home Minister, made different mentions of it in different campaigns. The sexist comment by someone as senior as Randeep Surjewala, and the reason I say senior is because he's very close to Rahul Gandhi in terms of seniority, not in terms of winning elections, of course. And he was given a show cause notice by the Election Commission earlier for making that comment. Randeep Surjewala had been asked to respond to that show cause by the 11th of April, and he's now been banned from campaigning. The remarks were against BJP parliamentarian Hema Malini. Hema Malini also had spoken about this comment. She had reacted, saying that it spoke of the Congress party's mindset when Randeep Surjewala had made that comment. Hema Malini, of course, is the BJP's candidate from Mathura. Election Commission had earlier issued a notice to Randeep Surjewala, and he's now been banned from campaigning for about 48 hours. The Election Commission had also said that it was undignified, the comments were undignified, vulgar and uncivilized. That was what the Election Commission had said. He had said, Randeep Surjewala had said, and it was a comment made against Hema Malini. We'll take a short break now. We'll come back and get you that comment, and also tell you more about what this means for Randeep Surjewala. All right, I have another big breaking news update on the show across the Republic. Let's quickly go across to that and get you the latest breaking news update right now. 18 Maoists, I repeat, 18 Maoists have been killed in an encounter with security personnel in Chhattisgarh's Kanker district. This is another big breaking news update that I'm getting in right now, an official confirmation that's now coming in from the BSF. The BSF has said that 18 Maoists have been killed in an encounter with security personnel in Chhattisgarh's Kanker district. And we have detailed report also coming in. Top Maoist commander Shankar Rao has been neutralized. Shankar Rao was carrying a bounty of 25 lakhs on him. Weapons including 7 AK-47 rifles have also been recovered in the operation by our forces. There is a strong possibility of these numbers increasing is what we are hearing. 18 is the number that we have. 18 Maoists have been killed in the encounter in Chhattisgarh, which was based on specific intelligence, a joint operation by teams of the BSF and DRG, which was launched on the 16th of April. And this was in Kanker, Chhattisgarh. The operation is still in progress when BSF party came under fire from CPI Maoist cadres, and BSF troops effectively retaliated against them. And we are hearing that the operation is still in progress, but the number that we have is huge. It's one of the biggest anti-Maoist operations conducted in recent times, when 18 Maoists have been killed by our forces. And we'll take a short break and come back with more details of that operation and the big success. What we hear is that a top Maoist commander has also been neutralized. His name is Shankar Rao. That's it on this edition of Across the Republic. Stay tuned. Headlines coming up.
With over 112,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards. In just a decade, India has transformed into a digital powerhouse. From classrooms to clinics, farms to finance, digitalization is revolutionizing every aspect of life. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards. With over 112,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
Warm welcome, viewers. We are live and breaking on Republic TV, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you this evening, and we will get you the latest news updates coming in from the country right ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. Remember, the battle is heating up. Mamata Banerjee is, of course, once again fear-mongering just on the eve of Ram Navami. We'll get you more on that. Also, Rahul Gandhi's top aide, Sam Pitroda, has stoked yet another controversy. What's happening in Iran? We will get you all that and much more. But first, the headlines.
যদি দেখেন স্লোগান দিচ্ছে 17 তারিখ ওটা ওদের দাঙ্গা করার দিন
Mamata Banerjee provokes again, warns of possible tension in West Bengal on Ram Navami. Rahul's top man Sam Pitroda at it again, says Elon Musk's visit to India is no big deal and that he's ashamed of Prime Minister Modi Bill Gates talks.
उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने बाहर आने के बाद प्रेस और बाकी सब लोग को बोलते हैं इंक्वायरी होने वाली है, जिन्होंने ये कांड किया उसको पनिशमेंट होने वाली है, लेकिन सीबीआई जाने से इनकार करने वाली यही व्यक्ति है।
Shiv Sena leader makes a big claim. Says Uddhav Thackeray blocked the CBI probe into Palghar lynching after Rahul Gandhi's call. No relief for Baba Ramdev as Supreme Court is set to hear misleading advertisements case against Patanjali again on the 23rd of April. Mystery over Indian student's death in Canada's Vancouver. Family seeks MEA's intervention. Israel's military chief warns against retaliation, says Iran would face the consequences for its actions. Well, we start with breaking news coming in right now. At the top of this bulletin, it's a top Maoist commander Shankar Rao has been killed, and Shankar Rao had a bounty, remember, of 25 lakh rupees on him, and even large quantities of weapons, including 7 AK-47 rifles, have been recovered. Important details are emerging right now, and we also learn about that the area of encounter is in Kanker in Chhattisgarh. And that is a big encounter that has happened between the soldiers, between the forces and the Maoists in Kanker, in Bastar. It's an anti-Maoist operation that has been going on in the forests of Kalpar of Chote Baitia police station of Kanker. Now, reliable sources tell Republic TV that more than 12 Naxalites have been 12 Maoists have been killed in this encounter, and there is also news of automatic weapons like AK-47 and LMG that has been recovered from the spot. We'll get your reaction that have been coming in on that mega development. Let's take a listen into what the police had to say.
डीआरजी और बीएसएफ पार्टियों के साथ नक्सलियों को मुठभेड़ हुआ है। इसमें करीब दर्जन भर नक्सल की मारने की अभी खबर आ रही है, लेकिन अभी पार्टी कमांडर से संपर्क नहीं हो पा रहा है। लेकिन इसमें 4 ऑटोमेटिक वेपन मिलने का पुष्टि कर रहे हैं और कई नक्सल मरने की इसमें संभावना है। पूरी पार्टी वापस आने के बाद आपको डिटेल्स बता पाएंगे।
सर, इसमें इस मुठभेड़ में शंकर राव टॉप लीडर है, उसके मारे जाने की खबर आ रही है।
इस मुठभेड़ में शंकर, ललिता, माधवी, इस तरह के बड़े कार्डर्स की उपस्थिति के बारे में हमारे पास सूचना थी, जिसके आधार पर ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया गया है और संभवतः इन लोगों की मृत्यु हुई है इस मुठभेड़ में।
सर, कितने इनामी रहा हुआ, क्योंकि शंकर राव का नाम काफी नक्सल घटनाओं में शामिल रहा है, कुछ जानते हैं?
ये डीवीसी रैंक के हैं, तो 25 लाख इनाम इनके ऊपर है। जो भी डीवीसी रैंक के उसमें है, उनके ऊपर 25 लाख का इनाम।
All right, my colleague Simran is joining us on the broadcast to know more on that, to get us more details on that. Top Maoist commander has been neutralized, Simran. This has been a mega operation in Chhattisgarh. Tell us more details about this.
This is definitely a huge operation that has broken out in the Kanker area of Chhattisgarh, as you have also pointed out. But what essentially it's important to look at that just 10 days ago, 10 days before the Kanker area of Chhattisgarh goes to poll, the big operation has taken out, and also the BSF Jawans, 2 of them have sustained bullet injuries, also 1 in the leg, and are severely injured. When we talk about the number of the Maoist operatives that have been killed in this operation by the forces, it is expected to definitely mount further. As of now, confirmed number that we are going with is 12, but since the bodies are also being recovered, as we have also got the top official voices from the administration and police sources also, that it is also expected to go to up to 18, and the toll of the Maoist operatives killed in this entire operation is expected to go further. And remember, this operation took place because there was a secret tip-off that was with the police there and with the agencies working in the area about the presence of 25 lakh rewardee Maoist operative Shankar Rao. But with him also, 2 more operatives were also a part of the entire operation that has been foiled out, and the other 2 operatives have also been killed here. And a total of 75 lakh rewardee operatives were at the target of the district police as well as the agencies, and they have also been killed in this entire operation. The number and the toll which we are going about is expected to also mount further, but it's important to look at that just 10 days before the Kanker area goes to poll, this entire operation, which has been foiled and also seems like a huge success, raises the security concerns over our own Jawans present in the area of the forest area of Bastar as well, and in and around specifically in the Kanker sensitive zone, which is highly affected by the Naxalism presence. Back to you.
Absolutely, of course, as you were just pointing out that the death toll, or rather the number of bodies that have been recovered in this operation could in fact go up. But tell us about the importance of this development that has come in, because just last month also we had another major encounter in this district in Kanker itself, where, a Maoist and a cop, they both were killed in this mega encounter. And once again, we see that the forces continue with their operations, and this time they actually neutralize the top-ranking Maoist in this group, in this area.
Well, definitely, this is in line with the operations that have been continuing from the past as well as before then, just to keep the security ahead of the polls, especially in the sensitive zones. But right now, this entire event and the operation, which is being touted as a huge success, needs to be looked out as a big update for foiling the operations and the nexus of the Maoist operatives in the sensitive zones of Kanker. But it also raises huge concerns for increasing the security and also the deployment of more forces also from the paramilitary and secret agencies in the sensitive areas of Kanker, because in fact last month was the time when this entire operation also saw the neutralization of one of the Maoist operative. But right now it is one of the biggest that we can see in this year. And in fact, it's very important to note that 7 AK rifles have been recovered from the operation. There have been light machine guns that have been recovered by the forces there. And as the bodies are being recovered, we have also shown in the visuals that the ambulance was carrying the bodies. The toll is definitely expected to go further, and more details, of course, will be given after the point of time when the toll will also be confirmed. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Simran, for joining us with those details. A big development coming in. Top Maoist commander has been neutralized in Kanker in Chhattisgarh. We'll get you more updates as we get more details. But right now we shift focus to the top story that we've been tracking. And it's from West Bengal, viewers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, remember, has been aggressively campaigning in all parts of the country, and this time in Bihar also. Now, Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Prime Minister Modi went head-to-head today over Ram Navami celebrations to take place in Howrah, just a year after large-scale violence in the district took place, and of course across the state, that led to arson, stone pelting and clashes between two groups, sparking a slugfest between the opposition BJP and ruling Trinamool Congress. Now remember, this comes just a day after Calcutta High Court granted permission to the VHP to hold a procession on Ram Navami in Howrah city. West Bengal government had highlighted unrest during last year's procession and proposed an alternative route for the procession. And Mamata Banerjee now has gone on to provoke. She says that if they, now what she means by they, you can decide for yourself. If they are seen sloganeering on the 17th, know that that day for them is to riot. She is calling Ram Navami a day of rioting, point blank period. And now she says the 17th is for the people and their respect. Even if they hurl abuses, pray for their departure to Allah with a calm mind. That's what she has said. Let's take a listen in to what exactly Mamata Banerjee had to say.
আমি সংখ্যালঘু ভাই বোনদের বলবো, যদি দেখেন স্লোগান দিচ্ছে 17 তারিখ ওটা ওদের দাঙ্গা করার দিন। আমি সংখ্যালঘু ভাই বোনদের বলবো, যদি দেখেন স্লোগান দিচ্ছে 17 তারিখ ওটা ওদের দাঙ্গা করার দিন। আমি সংখ্যালঘু ভাই বোনদের বলবো, যদি দেখেন স্লোগান দিচ্ছে 17 তারিখ ওটা ওদের দাঙ্গা করার দিন। আমি সংখ্যালঘু ভাই বোনদের বলবো, যদি দেখেন স্লোগান দিচ্ছে 17 তারিখ ওটা ওদের দাঙ্গা করার দিন।
Ahead of the Ram Navami celebration, viewers, as we are just telling you about the politics that has erupted over the celebration of the festival in West Bengal. Now, Prime Minister Modi has targeted the ruling Trinamool Congress party, saying the party has tried its best to stop Ram Navami celebrations in West Bengal. Listen in to the Prime Minister.
साथियों, टीएमसी के बंगाल में किस चीज की परमिशन मिलेगी, किसकी परमिशन नहीं मिलेगी, ये कानून तय नहीं करता। ये टीएमसी के तोलाबाज और गुंडे तय करते हैं। बंगाल में राम नवमी की शोभा यात्रा की परमिशन नहीं मिलती। उसके लिए श्रद्धालुओं को कोर्ट जाना पड़ता है। लेकिन रामनवमी और दुर्गा पूजा की शोभा यात्राओं पर पत्थर फेंकने वालों को टीएमसी सरकार ने पूरी परमिशन दे रखी है।
My colleague Ishan Dev is joining us live from our Bangla newsroom for more on this. Now, Ishan Dev, it's not the first time we've seen, Mamata Banerjee speaking on Hindu festivals. We've seen what's been happening in the past few years. In fact, my colleague Kisholai has joined from our Bangla newsroom. Apologies. Kisholai, we've seen this before. Ram Navami has been fraught with tensions, in the state of West Bengal. Prime Minister Modi has upped the ante clearly in his rallies with his aggressive campaigning in the east. And now we have Mamata Banerjee calling Ram Navami a day of rioting.
Well, Rakshita, it's a shocking comment which is coming from Mamata Banerjee, but it is nothing new. She has been speaking similarly in the last few days as well, and today as well she spoke something similar. What she meant, what she literally said in Bengali was, please keep in mind that if they are sloganeering, she's speaking to the minorities. She also said that I'm speaking to the minorities of West Bengal. I'm speaking to the minorities that if they come and they're sloganeering and they're rallying, just remember that it's a day for rioting for them. It's a day of riots for them. That's what she said, very shockingly. Also, she has said in Coach Bihar that when the BJP government comes to power again, they will force feed you the cow dung and they'll force you to drink cow urine. That's what she said. And all these statements that she has said infuriated the many of the Hindus and Sanatanis of West Bengal, as well as the BJP, which has come back and hit on her, saying that she she is actually playing a politics of diversion, playing a politics of dividing between the different religions in West Bengal, which live here peacefully since a long time, and now she is trying to make a division between all these religions, and especially on the day of Ram Navami, when already there were instances of violence in the past few years. It was needed that she actually helped in calming the situation rather than provoking the people whom she was speaking to. That's what the BJP is saying. Now, after that, today the Prime Minister also came to West Bengal and he was speaking in North Bengal, and he was in Balurghat, in fact, and he was saying very specifically that it's the win of truth. The truth has won. It's the victory of the truth that the Ram temple has come up. And now also Ram Navami rallies have been given permission from the Calcutta High Court. So that's what he's saying. So it's full-on politics in West Bengal before the Ram Navami day, and especially after the comments from Mamata Banerjee, people are shocked and infuriated in West Bengal, as we can see. Rakshita.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Kishore Loy, for joining us with those updates and giving us a perspective on that. So clearly you can see the face-off continues, this time over Ram Navami also. Now we should focus to our other story that we are tracking right now, viewers. Sunita Kejriwal, the wife of jailed Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, has been named in the Aam Aadmi Party Lok Sabha election campaign in Gujarat. She is one of the star campaigners. And in the 26 Lok Sabha seats in Gujarat, the party is fighting in Bharuch and Bhavnagar as part of the opposition India alliance, while the Congress will battle it out in the remaining 24 seats. Now, voting in Gujarat will take place on the 7th of May. Candidates will be able to file their nominations by the 19th of April. And a question remains here, is the Aam Aadmi Party fielding tainted leaders as their star campaigners? And will it have a boomerang effect on the party? Remember, viewers, time and again, Aam Aadmi Party has been hell-bent on keeping Arvind Kejriwal as the Chief Minister despite his judicial custody being extended. We do not see any sort of indication that there will be somebody else who will be taking in charge as the interim Chief Minister. My colleague Priyanka Sharma, in fact, is joining us live from Ahmedabad right now. Priyanka, very interestingly, as Aam Aadmi Party's Supremo is in jail, his wife, Sunita Kejriwal, who hasn't participated in politics, she is named one of the star campaigners, and so are some of the other leaders. Now, what sort of effects could this have on the voters this time? Because Aam Aadmi Party has been very obstinate on, having Arvind Kejriwal function from the jail as the Chief Minister. And this is a party who has come up, who has risen on the anti-corruption plank.
Rakshita, the kind of spin that we are looking at the Aam Aadmi Party trying to give the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal on the ground was very much visible in the first day of Bhagwant Mann's campaigning here in Gujarat, where he had in fact carried out a rally and he had made a speech. Had cried and he had said that Arvind Kejriwal is behind bars, and that
Priyanka, I'd like to hold you there because there seems to be a problem with your audio connection. Priyanka, there seems to be a problem with the audio connection. It's not clear. We will try and connect with you when we go to the story later on, but that's the latest we have right now, viewers. Aam Aadmi Party naming Sunita Kejriwal amongst the star campaigners for Gujarat. Will get you a lowdown of more updates coming in as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. But right now we are going to another top story that we are tracking, and this time it's on Patanjali. Now, Patanjali has been facing the heat since from the apex court. The Supreme Court is in no mood to give any kind of relief for Patanjali. Now, the Supreme Court has pulled up Yoga Guru Baba Ramdev and Patanjali Ayurved Limited Managing Director Balakrishna while granting 1 week time to issue a public apology in the misleading advertisements case. It says that it was not letting them off the hook now. It has used very strong language once again. And now both Ramdev and Balakrishna were present during the hearing and personally tendered an unqualified apology to the Supreme Court. Now remember, it was a hearing in the contempt case against Patanjali and the Ramdev and Balakrishna in connection with the misleading ads case. And there have been a lot of arguments that were made from the council, and I believe my colleague Sharmila is joining us live from the business desk. Sharmila, tell us more about what happened in court. There is clearly no relief for Patanjali. The hearing will take place, I believe, on the 23rd of April. But what's next for Patanjali now?
See, interestingly, both Baba Ramdev and Acharya Balakrishna were physically present at the court today. When the hearing started, Advocate Mukul Rohatgi immediately offered a public apology on behalf of the duo. But the court, as you just mentioned, did not accept that apology, and they opened a conversation with the two owners of Patanjali Ayurveda empire and questioned them why, in what interest did they have to deride the medical fraternities of allopathy and other streams. During that conversation also, Baba Ramdev has furnished his unconditional apology. But as we can see that the court is in no mood to accept these apologies lightly, because the case, as you can see, Rakshita, is one of contempt of court. At least 3 court orders have been sort of, ignored by the Patanjali group, and repeatedly they have offended against the court orders where they have continued to campaign against allopathy. They've continued to campaign for solving or resolving or curing incurable diseases. So the court is in no mood to take this lightly. But even so, the advocates have given the group, Patanjali group, Baba Ramdev and Balakrishna, time to redeem themselves. Now, we cannot really understand what that redeem themselves actually means. It could be in some form of apology in the public domain or whatever, but that direction will, we are sure, will come from the court itself, because a case which is now sub judice, the company cannot bring out any public notice or public apology unless the court approves of it. So we will have to wait and see how Baba Ramdev and Balakrishna take forward and gain the trust of the courts.
Absolutely, of course, trouble coming in for Patanjali. But thanks so much, Sharmila, for joining us with those updates. We'll keep a close eye on the developments coming in from that story that connects straight with the customers, with all our viewers, of course. But right now, we step into a very, very short break, viewers. On the other side, Rahul Gandhi's top man, Sam Pritoda, is at it again. He says that Elon Musk's visit to India is no big deal and that he's ashamed of Modi-Bill Gates talks. And Israel's military chief warns against retaliation. He says Iran would face the consequences for its actions. All that and much more on the other side. Stay tuned.
With over 112,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth. Over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the 3rd largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. The world is on edge, ladies and gentlemen. Israel says it will extract a price from Iran when the time is right. America has increased its deployment and moved troops to the Middle East. Iran's attack on Israel, whether in retaliation of the attack on its consulate in Damascus or in retaliation towards a trigger they have waited for, has destabilized the entire region. As I see it, this is a significant moment because Iran, which has through time since its establishment as the Islamic Republic of Iran in 1979, never got into a direct escalation with Israel. And in that case, this is a first. But to think that Netanyahu will not go with the advice of his war cabinet to respond, to think that he will cave in despite the US being very proactive since the attack, is also hoping against hope. He's also under political pressures, domestic pressure. My view is that there will be an Israeli response in some form. But the larger concern is whether this moment will trigger a World War III. Because let's remember, both World War I and World War II began as regional conflagrations between nations. World War I was between two kingdoms before becoming a full-blown international conflict. My view is that we cannot rule out an escalation. We have to watch extremely closely because on both sides are very, very militarized and very, very determined nations.
With over 112,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
Hello, Moto. Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand, brings you the latest breaking news updates from across the country only on Republic TV. And I am Rakshita Mishra.
With over 112,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. The world is on edge, ladies and gentlemen. Israel says it will extract a price from Iran when the time is right. America has increased its deployment and moved troops to the Middle East. Iran's attack on Israel, whether in retaliation of the attack on its consulate in Damascus or in retaliation towards a trigger they have waited for, has destabilized the entire region. As I see it, this is a significant moment because Iran, which has through time since its establishment as the Islamic Republic of Iran in 1979, never got into a direct escalation with Israel. And in that case, this is a first. But to think that Netanyahu will not go with the advice of his war cabinet to respond, to think that he will cave in despite the US being very proactive since the attack, is also hoping against hope. He's also under political pressures, domestic pressure. My view is that there will be an Israeli response in some form. But the larger concern is whether this moment will trigger a World War III. Because let's remember, both World War I and World War II began as regional conflagrations between nations. World War I was between two kingdoms before becoming a full-blown international conflict. My view is that we cannot rule out an escalation. We have to watch extremely closely because on both sides are very, very militarized and very, very determined nations.
With over 1,12,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the Tuesday edition of This Is Exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we come to you with a brand new avatar. We take you through 3 special stories and we promise to get you stories that no other network will actually show you. First, we begin with the ordeal of family members whose loved ones are stuck in Russia. Not just that, also a similar incident that has taken place in Canada. Was this a case of racial discrimination? And that big political story coming in from the state of Telangana. All this and much more in this edition of This Is the Exclusive. But up first, these are the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Republic gets you exclusive testimonies of family members of Indians who were forced to fight Ukraine war in Russia. Congress government in Telangana is under fire from the opposition who alleges that they have failed to implement poll promises. Rahul's top man Sam Pitroda at it again says Elon Musk's visit to India is no big deal and that he is ashamed of Prime Minister Modi, Bill Gates talks. Mamata Banerjee provokes again, warns of possible tension in Bengal on Ram Navami.
उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने बाहर आने के बाद प्रेस और बाकी सब लोग को बोलते हैं इंक्वायरी होने वाली है, जिन्होंने ये कांड किया उसको पनिशमेंट होने वाली है, लेकिन सीबीआई जाने से इनकार करने वाली यही व्यक्ति है.
Mystery over Indian student's death in Canada's Vancouver. Family seeks MEA's intervention. Starting this edition with that exclusive report coming in. The tale of Indians who are being forced to fight Russia's war in Ukraine. 2 Indian youth, one from Haryana and the other from Punjab, who are seeking help every minute to make it back home. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have witnessed over the last couple of months is that several testimonies have come in from Russia, where they are seeking desperate help from the Ministry of External Affairs to step in so that they can be brought back home. The story is about recruitment agencies here in India who are tricking many. Gullible tourists just for the sake of visas who've been given the visa of Russia, and once they land in Russia, they end up fighting the war on behalf of Russia, that too on the front lines. Tonight, we get you the story of 2 such families who are hoping that they would get some sort of relief from the Ministry of External Affairs. Take a look at this comprehensive report.
The person who you just saw on your screen is Ravi Mon, who is a resident of Haryana, Kaital, forced to fight Russia's war in Ukraine. In the garb of providing lucrative transport job on a cruise, a local travel agent lured Ravi to fly off to Russia. But what followed next was harrowing for his family.
हाँ अजय जी नमस्कार, मैं आदित्य बोल रहा हूँ रिपब्लिक टीवी से। तो आपके भाई का नाम क्या है जो रशियन आर्मी में जबरदस्ती इंडक्ट करे गए? क्या नाम है अजय जी आपके भाई का?
रवि है जी, रवि।
अच्छा रवि। तो उनको जबरदस्ती वो यहाँ से एज अ टूरिस्ट गए थे राइट, रशिया घूमने के लिए। ये कब की बात है जब गए थे वो? न्यू ईयर के आसपास।
13 जनवरी ने यहाँ से गए थे जी वो।
क्या गए थे? 13 जनवरी को गए थे। अच्छा अच्छा, तो ऐसा क्या हुआ कि मतलब उनको ऐसा कैसे फंसे वो कि उनको बोला गया कि आप रशियन आर्मी के साथ काम कीजिए नहीं तो हम आपको जेल में डाल देंगे? क्या हुआ थोड़ा बताइए उनके साथ, रवि के साथ।
मतलब ऐसी बात थी जी, जो एजेंट था ना हमारा गांव का ही एजेंट है।
अच्छा अच्छा, ये गांव का ही ट्रेवल एजेंट है आपका?
हाँ।
अच्छा।
उसने ये बात बोली थी कि तुम्हारा ट्रांसपोर्ट में काम करवा देंगे भाई का रूस में।
अच्छा।
तो हमने 15 दिन के बाद कांटेक्ट हुआ हमारा रवि के साथ। तो वहाँ पे उसको आर्मी में सिलेक्ट किया हुआ था तब, और रशियन भाषा में उसके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करवा रखा था।
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किस चीज का था ये? मतलब किस चीज का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? ट्रैवल एजेंट ने क्या नौकरी के लिए बोला था कि हम आपको रशिया में नौकरी दिलवा देंगे या क्या था
हमारा
प्रॉब्लम?
तो रवि के साथ 15 दिन यहाँ से जाने के बाद 15 दिन कोई कॉन्टेक्ट नहीं हुआ। जो एजेंट था उस एजेंट ने ही कराया जो कुछ कराया वहाँ जाकर आर्मी में। 15 दिन के बाद हमारी रवि के साथ बात हुई है, तो वो आर्मी की वर्दी में था।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, यहाँ से ये जो ट्रैवल एजेंट था आपका ये कैथल में था? ये कैथल का ही लोकल है? अच्छा,
कैथल का ही मटोर गाँव से है।
अच्छा अच्छा। तो अभी कितना टाइम हो गया आपका रवि के साथ कोई कांटेक्ट नहीं हुआ सर? कितना टाइम हो गया अभी?
मेरा मतलब 12 मार्च से मेरी लास्ट बार बात हुई थी रवि के साथ।
अच्छा 12 मार्च को। तो आपकी कैसे बात हुई थी? थ्रू उसका कॉल आया था या उसका कोई मैसेज आया था रवि को आपको?
रवि की मेरे पास मैसेज आया था, वीडियो कॉल भी आई थी। उसने बोला था कि मैं लड़ाई में जा रहा हूँ दूसरी बार।
अच्छा अच्छा, तो आपने पूछा नहीं कि ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है वो? मतलब बिना बताए घर में ऐसे गायब हो गया जैसा आप बता रहे हैं, ऐसा पूछा नहीं आपने?
रवि ने ये बात बोली थी कि अगर मैं लड़ाई में नहीं जाऊं तो इन रशियन वालों ने ये बोल रखा था कि अगर या तो 10 साल की जेल काटो या फिर फ्रंट लाइन में जाना पड़ेगा।
अच्छा, नहीं तो 1 साल जेल नहीं तो 10 साल की जेल जाने पड़ेगा अगर 1 साल रशियन आर्मी के लिए नहीं लड़ोगे तो, ऐसा था?
हाँ, मतलब अगर लड़ाई में नहीं जाओगे तो 10 साल की जेल।
अच्छा अच्छा, तो आपने यहाँ पर अभी आपने यहाँ कोई एफर्ट नहीं करे कि रवि को रशिया से वापस लाया जाए? कुछ अपनी तरफ से कुछ आपने एफर्ट्स करे हैं? किस तरह के से एफर्ट करे हैं सर, ये थोड़ा बताइए।
मतलब सुरजावाला के पास भी गए थे, धनखड़ के पास भी गए थे। मतलब इनसे तो बढ़िया आश्वासन दिया है कि निकाल देंगे, मतलब कुछ टाइम तो लगेगा।
अच्छा, विदेश मंत्रालय में गए थे आप? दिल्ली गए थे?
दिल्ली मेल डलवाई थी एम्बेसी में।
कहाँ पे एम्बेसी में गए थे? अच्छा अच्छा, रशियन एम्बेसी में गए थे आप लोग?
15-20 दिन का टाइम दिया था, लेकिन उन बातों तो 2 महीने हो गए लगभग।
Now cut to Punjab, another similar harrowing incident unfolded. Gagandeep Singh, a resident of Gurdaspur who went to Russia on a trip, was also tricked to join the army. Republic spoke exclusively to Gagandeep's brother Mandeep, who narrated the horror his brother is facing under the garb of tourism.
आपका कुछ कांटेक्ट हो पाया है उनसे गगनदीप जी?
हाँ सर, कांटेक्ट तो काफी टाइम तो नहीं हुआ, अब होने लगा है थोड़ा बहुत। कभी कभी ना उधर सिग्नल नहीं आते।
तो आप लोगों ने मतलब ट्राई नहीं करा कि एमईए जाएं और रशियन एम्बेसी से कुछ मदद करवाएं कि उनको आपके भाई को एक्स्ट्राडाइट करवा लें वापस यहाँ पर?
बहुत ट्राई कर रहे हैं, बहुत ज्यादा। हमारे ना इधर घर में मतलब वो मंत्री भी बहुत आती है, पुलिस भी आती है। अभी हम आपको करेंगे, न्यूज चैनल वाले भी बहुत आते हैं ना, कि काफी बात आगे तक पहुंची हुई है। हम दिल्ली भी गए थे, 2-3 दिन हुए।
अच्छा अच्छा, कहाँ? अच्छा,
हमको किसी ने कहा कि आप विदेश मंत्रालय को मिलकर आए।
तो एक बात बताइए, जिस नंबर से गगनदीप आपको मैसेज करते हैं, आपने उस नंबर पे कॉल करने की कोशिश नहीं करी कि कोशिश करें कि जिस नंबर से मैसेज आता है गगनदीप का आपको, आप उस पर कॉल करें दोबारा?
कॉल तो हम करते हैं और नेटवर्क नहीं आते उधर। कभी कभी नेटवर्क कराते हैं तो फिर वो मैसेज कर देता है। कॉल पर कॉल बहुत कम होती है।
मैसेजेस में अधिकतम क्या लिखता है वो आप लोगों का हालचाल लेता है, अपना हालचाल बताता है किस तरह से?
वो हालचाल दे दो, हमारा हालचाल तो क्या, उसका भी नहीं ठीक, हमारा भी नहीं ठीक।
अच्छा अच्छा, तो अभी जितनी भी आपकी गगनदीप से बात हुई है, राइट, उसने क्या क्या बताया आपको? कुछ डिटेल में बताइए सर, क्या क्या अभी तक बता चुका है वो आपको?
बताया कि जब हमको कहते हैं आर्मी पकड़ कर लेकर गई उधर से, हमको कहने लगी कि आपको 10 साल की कैद हो जाएगी, ऐसे वैसे कहता। हमें बोलने लगे भी हमारा कसूर क्या है, तो कहा वो बोलते नहीं कसूर का पता नहीं, हम आपको 10 साल की कैद करेंगे, नहीं तो आपको 1 साल के लिए नौकरी करनी पड़ेगी।
Republic also learned that there were 7 other tourists along with Amandeep who were dealt 2 options: fight Russia's war or face prison for 10 years. Meanwhile, the Ministry of External Affairs has taken stock of the situation and is doing everything possible to bring back our own. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Let me also bring in my colleague Aditya, who's getting us this latest report. Aditya, you've also reached out to the agencies that have been looking into this entire matter. As we understand, there is a massive recruitment scam that is now being probed. What more details are you picking up? Let's try and see if we can connect with Aditya for more details on this. Aditya, just walk us through the details that you picked up from the agencies too with regards to the probe that has been carried out.
As we were speaking to Gagandeep Singh's brother, he told me that he told Republic TV that in Kathal, a local travel agent had lured Gagandeep into all this business, and this is actually needs to be seen as to how big is this nexus of this travel agent that is operating to lure innocent boys from multiple Indian cities. So, as per the conversation that we had with Mandeep Singh, the brother of Gagandeep Singh, what he told was that his brother, the Kathal-based travel agent, was involved in all this process, and this needs to be seen as to how the big nexus is. Back to the studios.
Thank you very much, Aditya, for getting us that latest report, a story that we'll be tracking very closely because there are still several other family members who are now trying to reach out to the Ministry of External Affairs, hoping that there would be some respite coming in soon. While the Ministry of External Affairs maintains that they are working on this entire matter and hopefully they would be in a position to resolve the matter. Shifting focus now to getting you the other story tonight on This Is Exclusive. After Congress government in Karnataka, now it's the same Congress government in Telangana which is under fire from the opposition, alleging that they have failed to implement the promises which were made during the assembly elections. In fact, Bharatiya Janata Party and the BRS have now hit out at the Congress government for not fulfilling the promises. Here's a ground report coming in from my colleague Aniri.
With just days to go before the Lok Sabha elections, the Congress government in Telangana is facing flack over its poll promises during the assembly elections in 2023.
Well, in the run-up to the Lok Sabha polls, well, we have been seeing the face-off between the BRS, BJP and the Congress has now been escalating. Well, on one side, we see that the BJP and the BRS questions the Congress government for not fulfilling the promises which they had made during the assembly polls, and also they had stated that once Congress party comes to power, they will be implementing the promises within 100 days of time, but then it's over 100 days and the Congress government has not fulfilled the promises, whereas only one of them being free bus service is to the women is being provided.
The Congress party had earlier made 6 promises before toppling the BRS government in 2023, but have so far only managed to keep one of its 6 promises. Taking this as an opportunity, the BJP has sharpened its attack on the Congress.
See, if you can see, Mr. Revanth Reddy, who happens to be the PCC president, just before the elections, he has made so much poll promises about the 6 guarantees and other schemes which will be implemented as soon as he comes into power. And today is 120th day. People in this state are eagerly waiting that the Congress party, which has been constantly saying that once we come into the power, we are going to implement all the schemes, accusing the Bharatiya Janata Party and earlier, the BRS government. But today, we demand, where are the schemes? Where are the guarantees? How long you will take to implement on that?
The BRS also called out the Congress's Jumla.
The whole point today is, how can you give promises without even realizing the state finances, that you give 420 promises and you cannot fulfill them after you get votes? Well, one thing is, this is a excuse scripted by their strategist Mr. Sunil Kongolu, and that is the reason from day one Congress party has trying to see a escape route, that how should they run away from their promises.
On the back foot, the Congress is deflecting blame on the previous BRS regime.
They are ignoring what we have implemented. Immediately after coming to the power, we have implemented free bus services to the women and raised the Rajiv Arogya Scheme limit to the 10 lakhs from 5 lakhs. And we have started giving gas cylinder yet 500 rupees.
The Congress government in Karnataka is already under scrutiny for failing to deliver its poll promises. Is the Congress staring at another poll promise fiasco? And what will be the impact of it on the Lok Sabha elections? The answer will be out in the open on June the 4th. Bureau Report for Republic TV.
And we also quickly bring in my colleague Aneri, who's joining us on this broadcast and who's got us this special report. Aneri, you've also tried to reach out the Congress government in Telangana. What is it that they have to say on this entire matter, given the fact that in Karnataka we saw the same kind of allegations that were levelled, and the Congress government has essentially hit out at their predecessors?
Well, that's right, Shravan. The Congress government in the state of Telangana now blames it on the previous government, that's the BRS government, which was there back then before the assembly polls, where we have seen that the Congress leaders say that due to the bad financial exchequer and the financial condition in the state of Telangana, they couldn't implement the promises. But also at the same time, we have been seeing that there has been the BRS party hits out at the Congress, and they say that didn't they know about the financial situation? And despite the financial situation in the state, KCR was being able to implement all the schemes. Raitu Bharosa, Raitu Bandhu scheme were being implemented during the KCR regime. Then why not by the Congress party? And also at the same time, BJP as well demands that the Congress government should immediately implement all of the schemes which they had promised during the assembly polls. And they had very clearly mentioned that within 100 days of forming the government, they will be implementing all of these promises. But it doesn't seem so that has taken place in the state of Telangana.
Well, thank you very much, Aneri, for getting us the latest details. Once again, questions essentially being raised whether at all there is financial malpractices, or more importantly, as what the opposition parties have been alleging, is that they've not been able to put their house together. All this and much more on the other side of the short break. We'll get you the latest with regards to mystery over Indian students' death in Canada's Vancouver.
In just a decade, India has transformed into a digital powerhouse. From classrooms to clinics, farms to finance, digitalization is revolutionizing every aspect of life. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
You can sense the excitement.
पता नहीं क्रिकेट का फ्यूचर कैसा होगा, पर सीलिंग फैंस का फ्यूचर पता है, बिकॉज इट्स ऑलरेडी हियर. ओरिएंट एरोस्लिम विथ रिवर्स रोटेशन मोड जो इंप्रूव करे एयर सर्कुलेशन. ओरिएंट BLDC फैन, द फ्यूचर ऑफ फैंस.
In the India Today Best Universities 2023 survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi and National Law School Bengaluru.
With over 1,12,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. The world is on edge, ladies and gentlemen. Israel says it will extract a price from Iran when the time is right. America has increased its deployment and moved troops to the Middle East. Iran's attack on Israel, whether in retaliation of the attack on its consulate in Damascus or in retaliation towards a trigger they have waited for, has destabilized the entire region. As I see it, this is a significant moment because Iran, which has through time since its establishment as the Islamic Republic of Iran in 1979, never got into a direct escalation with Israel. And in that case, this is a first. But to think that Netanyahu will not go with the advice of his war cabinet to respond, to think that he will cave in despite the US being very proactive since the attack, is also hoping against hope. He's also under political pressures, domestic pressure. My view is that there will be an Israeli response in some form. But the larger concern is whether this moment will trigger a World War III. Because let's remember, both World War I and World War II began as regional conflagrations between nations. World War I was between two kingdoms before becoming a full-blown international conflict. My view is that we cannot rule out an escalation. We have to watch extremely closely because on both sides are very, very militarized and very, very determined nations.
In yet another attack on an Indian student on foreign land, a 24-year-old student was brutally shot dead in Canada on 12th of April. Son of a retired sugar mill worker, Chirag Antil, left for Canada in September 2022 on a student visa and just recently completed his MBA and secured a job. What we have essentially seen, particularly in the United States of America and Canada, a spate of such incidents that have taken place. Here is a special report coming in from my colleague Nikita Sahai.
An Indian student from Sonipat in Haryana was gunned down in South Vancouver in Canada. 24-year-old Chirag Antil was found dead inside his car after neighbors reported hearing gunshots and called police. An investigation has been started to find out the motive behind the shooting. According to his family, Chirag seemed happy when they last spoke to him.
इतना खुश था, मतलब बात कर रहा, मेरे को कहीं बाहर जाना था तो बोलता भाई पापा को साथ लेके जाइयो, अकेला मत जाइयो, ऐसे बोल रहा था कि अभी उसने नई गाड़ी ली थी यहाँ इंडिया में भी, तो ऐसे बोल रहा था कि मम्मी पापा को घुमा के लाइयो, गाड़ी में 2-3 जगह कहीं कहीं घुमा के ला, मतलब बहुत खुश था। रोज़ मम्मी की बात भी होती थी उससे, मतलब अगर ऐसा कुछ 1% भी होता कि मतलब कोई धमकी है या किसी के साथ दुश्मनाई है तो वो हमें पता होता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था। तो वो घूमने के लिए उधर डाउनटाउन की तरफ बोलता कि मैं थोड़ा घूम आता हूँ, कल छुट्टी है, आराम से उठूँगा, लेट उठूँगा। तो जैसे ही वो गया तो उसको गाड़ी में बैठते ही उसको शूट कर दिया गया। उसको अंदाज़ा ही नहीं होगा, अगर अंदाज़ा होगा तो वो भागता भी, कुछ तो करता, वो तो बैठते ही उसको शूट कर दिया गया।
Chirag moved to Canada in 2022 to earn a master's degree and recently got a work permit. This report comes in the wake of increasing deaths of Indian students in neighboring United States. On Friday, the Ministry of External Affairs said that India has stepped up its outreach to students in the United States. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
You can sense the excitement in the air.
पता नहीं क्रिकेट का फ्यूचर कैसा होगा, पर सीलिंग फैंस का फ्यूचर पता है, बिकॉज इट्स ऑलरेडी हियर. ओरिएंट एरोस्लिम विथ रिवर्स रोटेशन मोड जो इंप्रूव करे एयर सर्कुलेशन. ओरिएंट PLDC फैन, द फ्यूचर ऑफ फैंस.
With over 1,12,718 startups igniting innovation, driving digital growth, over 800 million internet users are bridging distances and strengthening bonds across the globe, making India the third largest digitalized country in the world, accounting for around 46% of the world's real-time digital transactions. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
In the India Today Best Universities 2023 survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi and National Law School Bengaluru.
In just a decade, India has transformed into a digital powerhouse. From classrooms to clinics, farms to finance, digitalization is revolutionizing every aspect of life. To celebrate the makers and shakers behind Digital India and India's phenomenal digital yatra, Republic Business is delighted to bring its inaugural Republic Business Emerging Tech Awards.
You can sense the excitement in the air.
पता नहीं क्रिकेट का फ्यूचर कैसा होगा, पर सीलिंग फैंस का फ्यूचर पता है, बिकॉज इट्स ऑलरेडी हियर. ओरिएंट एरोस्लिम विथ रिवर्स रोटेशन मोड जो इंप्रूव करे एयर सर्कुलेशन. ओरिएंट PLDC फैन, द फ्यूचर ऑफ फैंस.
Good evening and welcome friends to this new show in which we analyze and understand and even listen to views cutting across the political divide. It's called Versus and gets opposing political views together to weave in a debate by the end of which you, the viewers, have a clear takeaway. Today we are bringing to you a deep dive on Tamil Nadu, a survey that gives you a complete lowdown on which alliance stands where. Remember, we are in the thick of 2024 campaign. This is important because Tamil Nadu is being seen as a game changer by those in the BJP. More importantly, the opposition has projected the Dravidian state as a sort of Achilles heel for the BJP. Let's try to understand through this show whether it's going to be the last frontier or still remain an unconquered fort for them for a while. Here are the headlines, and then I come back with the conversation on the other side.
भी तो क्या स्वयं बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर भी इस संविधान को नहीं बदल सकते।
Prime Minister Modi launches blistering attack on the opposition, says this election is to punish those who are against India's constitution. Fish politics escalates. Mamata Banerjee adds fish to her Mati Manush campaign. It's much. BJP calls Indi visionless.
There is no more conversation. Elon Musk coming in is not a conversation. Having Bill Gates come in and invest here is not a conversation. Conversation is you promised 100 million jobs in 5 years. What have you done?
Sam Pitroda triggers debate, says Elon Musk visit to India, no big deal. The fierce fight in Uddhav neck-to-neck contest between Union Minister and sitting MP Jitendra Singh. Congress's Chaudhry Lal Singh on the other side. Okay, so before we get to the conversation, here's a survey done by a couple of independent poll analysts, which includes Rajat Sethi. You have seen him on air on many of those debates, and he's joining me in the studios, in fact. The survey had a sample size of over 44,000 respondents across Tamil Nadu, so seems like very representative, and those from all 39 constituencies. The numbers seem to be giving a vote share rise to the BJP, but might not translate into seats or as many seats for the party. Let's look at the graphics and explain to you how the numbers stack up. So it's on air, in fact, and who will get the Tamil Nadu seats according to the survey done by a group of political analysts and survey agencies, but essentially including Rajat Sethi. Indi Alliance is all set to get between 29 to 31 seats, almost like a repeat of last election. The AIA-DMK seems to be getting a spike in number of seats. We'll try to understand how this is happening. They might get anything between 7 to 10 seats. As of now, the NDA bloc seems to be getting between 0 to 2 seats. And if you go the vote share wise, there might be a story which the BJP would be interested in. So let's look at the second graphic, which is about the vote share. And yes, this is the one. The Indi is getting about 39.5% vote share, and AIA-DMK getting 32.5%, and the BJP about 10%. That graphic still not there. Yes, NDA in its totality. NDA, remember, is BJP leading an alliance of 9 parties, which Prime Minister called the Navratna. 16% vote share, and NTK on its own getting 6%. That seems to be the polling percentage vote share wise stacking up. And let's go to another graphic, which is about
how the parties have done historically. I am also, of course, joined in, as I said, by Rajat Sethi in the studios, and to give us the sense of opposition understanding, Somant C.